Hey everyone, Radar Rob here. My new channel, Radar Rob channel. Just going to be doing some videos, cooking videos, maybe some videos about weather, which is my passion. Just a regular old guy from South Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia. Been watching some videos of other people doing some Blackstone griddle cooks, and I figured why not take my shot at it today. What we're going to do for you, what I'm going to do for you, is a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Mrs. likes the mushrooms, so we got some nice mushrooms here. See the mushrooms, sliced them up myself. Usually not a fan of getting uncut mushrooms, but today that's all they had at the Rastelli's meat market, my local meat market. Great place. I got some green bell pepper I sliced up, and I got some onions, which I'm going to fry up. So first things first, take my trusty canola oil in my Blackstone bottle, of course, and I'm just going to put some canola oil down. Don't be afraid to be a little generous. You're going to need plenty of oil to cook on the griddle. And just kind of smooth this oil out a little bit. You'll hear that searing noise from the griddle. That's when you know that your griddle is hot enough to put your veggies on. I'm going to put the peppers up here. Put the onions not too far away from them over here. And then, of course, the last thing, I'm going to put the mushrooms right over here. We're going to let these cook for about 10-15 minutes. Always season everything. Your vegetables, your meat. You want to make sure that everything is properly seasoned to taste. So I like to put some salt and black pepper on everything. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get these veggies cooked up, and I will be back with you shortly. Alright everyone, we're back. So veggies are cooked up, the onions are looking good, they're smelling good, the green peppers are looking good, smelling good, and the mushrooms, they're looking good, but Radar Rob doesn't do the mushrooms, they're for the missus. So the next important ingredients you need is you need some fresh chip steak. You can take a prime rib if you want, freeze it up, slice it up yourself. I like how Rastelli's chips the beef real nice, so I go ahead and I get their chipped beef. You also want to make sure you have your rolls. So over here, I got torpedo rolls. You can get the pointed torpedo rolls, the rounded ones like I got today. You can even get the longer hoagie rolls. It's however you like your sandwich. No one should tell you how your roll should be. So the next part, we're just going to put a little more canola oil down here. And we're going to get ready and we're going to put this beautiful steak on the griddle. Now the steak cooks at a good rate, and it's kind of stringy, so you gotta chop it up a little bit. So as you can see, it's freshly thin sliced steak. Now I'm just going to put this down. Try to separate the entire steak if you can, as much as you can, so that when you're portioning it out, it's not all clumped together. The last thing you want to do is try to make someone a cheesesteak or yourself a cheesesteak and have it all clumped up. That's just going to be a mess. As you can see the sign behind me, we are grilling and chilling. That's what I do here. By day, I sell parts. By night, I do all the family stuff. So right now, like I said, cooking on the Blackstone here. Got the steak down now. I'm just going to take it. Kind of want to take it, get it all together. I like to go ahead and make sure I take the trusty scraper and just going to take it apart a little bit. So just break it up a little bit. As it's cooking, it'll help it cook a lot better when you chop it up. Don't do it so finely that you're not going to be able to chew it. You just kind of want it to be so that you can mix the cheese in, because later on, one of the secrets to making a good cheesesteak is how you apply the cheese and the vegetables to the cheesesteak. So as you can see, I also have just some regular American cheese here from Heritage's dairy stores. I like to go shop there. They're small, local. They always have good fresh products, here in Deptford. So, always, try to go to the little guy. Not a big box fan guy, because it just takes too long and it's a hassle. So we're going to get the steak cooked up. I'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll finish these steaks up, and we'll see. A very important step, now that the steak is starting to cook and it's cooking fairly well, we want to make sure we season this really well. You want to get that salt on there. You want to get it on there to taste. You know, don't overdo it, but you know, you kind of know your limits as a cook, whether amateur or professional, and you just want to make sure you get enough in there so you get the taste. We'll go ahead and season that up. We're going to mix these around a little bit. Get all that salt and pepper mixed inside the steak. And then what I'm going to do is I'm making 4 cheesesteaks, so I'm going to separate it up into 4 spots here. So you just kind of try to evenly as possible get your steak together. I think that's some pretty even stuff. And then what you want to do is you want to match the veggies to the steak. So the missus, she wants the mushroom. And you do the mushroom with hers. Always be careful when you're working with these hot objects. You do not want to burn yourself. Alright? And the other important thing is get these rolls on the toast a little bit. Now, I didn't bring a knife out. That's alright. These rolls pull right apart pretty easily. And then you just separate them at the end where the round off is. And we're going to put that one down there. One here. Alright, so the next step is putting the cheese on the steak. And that's the big deal there. You want to make sure that you mix that cheese in real well. So what I like to do is I like to grab 2 or 3 pieces of cheese for each steak. I know it might sound like overkill, but it's just going to put that blended cheese flavor in there. So you're going to go ahead, slap the cheese on top, and you're going to give it a moment or two. You've got to give it a moment or two to start to melt down a little bit, or else you're not going to get the expected outcome. While I'm letting her cheese start to fester there a minute, I'm going to go ahead and add the onions to my 2 steaks. Now these steaks are probably somewhere around less than a quarter pound a piece of meat. So this is not like a, you know, wow, this guy's going to kill himself with all this steak. Yeah. We'll take my other 2 rolls, get them down, get them start to get toasty. Important thing is to make sure that the bread has a good toast on the inside and that your steak is mixed up and cheesy on the inside. That's the perfect steak. I mean, there's really no wrong way to do a steak, I'll be honest with you there, but cooking it raw and leaving it raw would probably not be great. So now we got all the rolls, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take hers, minus this little pepper to try to jump in from the bandwagon, and I'm just going to mix her steak and cheese together. And this is where you get your desired outcome, is you mix that cheese in there real nice, and it just makes it a nice cheesy mess. The next one, same thing. Like I said, you want to make sure that cheese gets nice and melted. It's important that you give it a nice, good, cheesy bite. So, first sandwiches are done and ready. I'm going to go ahead and you sit the roll on top there for a minute. Give it a second to really get that cheese going. And now I'm going to throw the other 3 slices on mine. And I'll repeat. Great thing is, always make sure you bring a tray out with your stuff. Try not to put any raw ingredients on your tray. That way you can put your cooked food on the tray, no issues. Always have a water bottle when you come out too. Water bottle is very important when you go to do cleanup. So you want to make sure the griddle is a little warm when you go to clean up. Like I said, it's hot. It looks perfect something. Alright. Our second steak here. As you can see, that cheese is nice and melty. A delicious goop of deliciousness. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix my steaks up, which means we're almost done here. Not sure how I did on this first episode, but I'll probably be looking back at this in a couple months saying, what were you doing? Because I don't know. Just trying to have fun. You know, watching people like the Hungry Hussy. You know, if you want to go ahead and, you know, click subscribe and watch my funny, stupid videos, you know, greatly appreciated. If not, it's all good too. Like I said, I've been watching, just like on this Blackstone, I've been watching a lot of videos out there. A lot of guys are showing some good tricks in their trade and all as far as using Blackstone. But I'll tell you what, if you haven't checked out his channel, you go and check out the Hungry Hussy. That guy seems to have it down. Does a great job of explaining everything. You know, top-notch little channel he's got there. And he's also got a cool Blackstone. He also went on vacation with a smaller Blackstone. So, like I said, as you can see, finishing up the steaks here. And I'm going to get ready to go in and eat it. But I'll be honest with you, they look tasty and delicious. And as you can see, I mean, it is one hot, cheesy mess. Like I said, click subscribe, like the page for updates, and then you know, we'll see you soon. Radar Rob, out.